Okay, we are back. Just placed down another apiary. I'm hoping that having a second apiary will help us with our food, because our health is not great. So we just got this barn built, which will store a lot more food, a lot more like goods. Stockpiles are primarily for like bigger stuff like iron, logs, firewood. I think can be placed in either a barn or stockpile, but I think it prefers stockpiles. Currently, at the moment, we are fine on firewood. Okay, looks like we got another family over here, and they're probably going to start starving, which, yeah, okay, fair enough. How many people do we have over here? 3. Iron is low. Yeah. Alright, so next priority, this. Please and thank you, and I will go ahead and actually build a road. Actually, priority that, because that shouldn't take very long to deconstruct. Okay, thank you. I don't know why they wouldn't just complete it. I know this is like super pointless. Are we already at our tool limit? Huh, we are. Interesting. So if they don't have anything to do, or they're like, you know, completely full, they'll just go ahead and do something else. Finally starting to get some food. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense now that we're finally in spring. So apiary early on, I still think is probably our best like bet. And we will eventually like get more and more stuff. So I don't remember if I was talking about the fishing dock at all. So this radius, pretty much, I think it's all the water inside. So basically, you want all the water, as much water as you can inside the radius. Right, that's looking promising. See all of our new little saplings that the forester has built. We'll turn that up to 300. So again, they will like go through and collect stone, but it's a lot slower than if you just went ahead and did it manually. Okay, just go ahead and do that. Give our laborers something to do. Alright, let's go ahead and start checking and see who is... Yeah. Alright, so we definitely need to build some more houses. And eventually we're going to have to switch over to... stone houses, but since we have no stone at the moment, I think it's way better to just stick with wooden houses. Build a road down that way. Hopefully this gets finished pretty quick. We have enough stone, which is good. So I think long term, this area, just in general, is going to be our sort of main hub, our main city. I think that's the most I can zoom out. Another large lake down here. I definitely think large map is the best way to go, because unless you're playing like a pretty short game, you're going to want as much space, and you can't really change after the fact. It's just better to go with a large map at the beginning, unless obviously you're not looking for that, unless you're not looking for a long game. Okay, so that will hopefully help with food. Having 2 apiaries, I think, will definitely help us. Now, it might not be the best idea to be building more buildings when we can barely feed the people that we already have. But I think we have to, because otherwise we'll end up in death spiral. Let's go ahead and put a priority on that. We will probably need to go ahead and start doing some more firewood here very soon. I'm pretty sure apiaries are supposed to be good, like really good at the start, just because it's one of those few things that you don't need a whole lot of space to do, like food-wise. Okay. Oh, shoot. Alright. Guess enough people went out and just grabbed a giant pile of firewood, and that meant that we were out. So yeah, quite a few people, people who should be moving out but can't because they don't have any place to live. Thankfully, you can upgrade the stone houses. Unfortunately, it does kind of kick people out. So, and especially if you're not, especially if people are taking their time, you can have some homeless people for quite a while. That's why you usually want to wait until you can get a boarding house before like trying to upgrade anything. Okay, have a little bit of stored food, although that will change if any of these houses finish. Okay, looks like that is cleared out, which is really good. So, already towards the tail end of year 3. So far I'm enjoying this series. Probably not the most exciting series we've ever done here, but I definitely enjoy it. I actually haven't seen a whole lot of Banished lately. Like, obviously, I think people are still making it, but They're probably all smaller channels like me. Or us, me, you guys, that are doing it, and I just don't see it because it's not in the top of the search list. Ooh, finally above 100 stored food. Wow. Yeah, that honey is definitely helping. Fish don't really do a whole lot. You really only get it for, like, food variety, honestly. Okay, looks like we got this hunting cabinet, yeah. Hunting cabin, almost ready to go. Let's go ahead. Hopefully this building isn't blocking the road. No, doesn't look like it. Good. Okay, let's go ahead and put on 2 hunters. So hunters will provide us with both meat and with leather or hides, which we can then use to make coats or clothes. Clothes definitely don't wear out quite as quickly as tools do, so it's not quite as urgent to get to that, but it's definitely something we're going to need to build. Why? I guess it can't be in the way. Food. Reserve of food is low? That's the highest we've ever had food. So, I don't know what the game is trying to tell me there, but... Okay. Eventually we could go ahead and do a silkworm hut. Game, I would guarantee you that food is fine at the current moment. Maybe not as good as it was, but it's definitely better than what it has been. I don't know, I think 5,000, so it must be like right at that threshold where it thinks that we're about to run out, even though for our current population it's perfectly fine. It's probably a little lower than I would like, but hey, what are you gonna do? And take one of you guys off that. Again, I think we're going to need to do some priority builds on these. So it's primarily logs. Okay. So actually, we're actually pretty close to building some of these. We have a lot of stuff flagged for like stone and iron removal. But it doesn't seem like we don't have enough laborers to be like really aggressive with it. Okay, so as these buildings start finishing, we will like run out of food and firewood pretty quickly. Because I'm sure there are people waiting to get into these buildings, into these houses. Yep. Yeah, these people have been waiting quite a while. Okay, out of stone, which is fantastic. So, people don't age up like every year. I think it might be every season, but maybe like every change, like early to summer to late. That might be like a year for these people. But don't quote me on that. So we're actually almost to 500 food, which is fantastic. Go ahead and just build a little road right there, just so we remember. So as this area kind of gets cleared out, like stone and iron wise, we'll start having a bit more resources over here. Should be able to build this tailor next. It's going to take a little while since we don't really have any stone stocked up. So I don't think we're quite ready for school. Because that would pretty much keep a lot of people from aging up. So our food is low. Okay, we're back down to 100. That's not quite as ideal. It's because so many people just stocked up on food. So we're definitely going to need to expand our food industries. And that kind of becomes a question of where do we want to go next? Because we're kind of... Unless we want to just keep doing apiaries, we're kind of stuck on food until we can get a trade. Where is the trade? Trading post. So that's a pretty big investment, getting a trading post up and running. It's a lot of quite a bit of resources, a lot of time put into it. But that's how you get your seeds. Get your seeds, get your livestock. So it's going to be essential at some point that we do that. Still have a fair amount of food. I have a little bit of leather that's starting to trickle in. Again, I don't think I want to like put any of this foresting type stuff up here, because I think that's going to be our like next that's going to be like our main hub. I think if anything, it's going to be over down in this area, but that's also a lot, that's quite a ways away to get to. Either that or like up in here. Now, the radiuses aren't a huge deal, specifically with the Forester's Lodge. That's not quite as big a deal. It's more of the Gatherer's Hut that you kind of have to be careful with. Maybe it's just the angle, but it seemed a lot larger. The other sort of area could be down here, but that kind of, it's a bit narrow to try and do. Maybe like right here. Like, honestly, I think that might be fine. Not orchard. We'll go ahead and build a road. Build a road up to there, and then we'll go ahead and build a house out here, because nobody's going to want to work out here. Okay. So food is looking fine, which is good. Because definitely, we wouldn't be able to survive if we didn't focus on food at all. If we were hurting on food right now, it'd probably be the end. But the fact that we're now up, like around 1,000 is pretty great. It would be really nice if we had a lot more resources though, because I have a feeling our next sort of push, now that it looks like we've gathered most of the resources in this particular area, is probably to go ahead and strip out all of this. Go ahead and just do that. Okay, let's see. No, I'm not giving the most interesting commentary at the moment. I'm just trying to survive here. It's like this road is starting to get built. As it gets built, people will tear down the trees and stuff that are in the way. So, let's see. This person is continually building tools, which is fine. Looks like our tailor is about to get finished. We will want a stockpile down here, since I'm thinking about it. Probably important to have a stockpile down near this stuff. dry storage, trading post, market, bank barn. Bank barns are really large barns that they put in the side of the hills. That's part of like the mod. The farther like to the right you go are generally things related to the mod. Back alley, abbey, I think maybe like the little chapel or something. Obviously they try and keep like similar things right next to each other, like little chapel and chapel. I'm pretty sure chapel is like yeah, just to hide code is fine. Try and keep as many as you can, I guess. We will go ahead and build a road out to here. Yeah, I just like in SimCity 2000, there's always one angle that I really like, and it's usually whatever the starting angle is. I prefer it that way. So this is sort of like the way that we're going to play for most of the game. Starting off, you could probably argue like this angle would be fine as well, just because you're facing this mountain rather than having it sort of in the way. So again, people probably aren't going to want to come all the way out here, but we're going to need to force them to. We're actually out of logs. Okay. That's not the most ideal. I mean, at least we have a lot of firewood. A lot of firewood stored up. So, got 1, 2... So I see 2 people who could probably move out, which means that we could probably build another house. Although, once this, you know, house gets finished, we'll probably be fine. Let's go ahead. And actually pick up some trees over here. We have a couple little loose trees here and there. Quite a few laborers. Stone, yeah. Alright, I think this is a good place to put in a cut, so I will see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.